Hey everybody, welcome back to Roadside Nuggets. Today we are going to talk about the Insurgence of the Soul. Insurgence of the Soul. It's like really a catchy name, a word in the front. I kind of had already a feel of what was going to be discussed today on this segment. However, the angels took me a lot deeper and just present moment awareness of where exactly we actually are in this process. And one of the biggest things, we'll just start off with, that humanity is stuck to is linear time. A lot of our belief systems, a lot of our references are attached to linear time, to where we think linear time dictates how things happen. It's the long draw out, the one-way journey forward that time controls. All that's bullshit. None of it's real. It's all fantasy. And today, the angels really wanted to really express actually where we are in this, and that's insurgence. And insurgence is an active. I even looked it up to make sure I had the right definition for this, because the angels were like, no, it's insurgence. And I was like, is it really that now? And they're like, it's now. And they're like, insurgence that's the active. It literally says an active uprising, revolts, or rebel. And so that is part of the process the soul, humanity's soul, is currently going through, the collective soul, to speak, everyone at the same time. Now, what this is going to do, that's actually a good point. So before we even get to that point, so present moment awareness, this is the active process going on. So it's not something that we are waiting for. It's not something that's coming. This is an active process currently going on now as you breathe. It's already trickled in. Mom's already come through the back door and already started things before anyone even realized, And what this is going to do, this is going to cause almost like a capside in your own being. You're literally just going to rotate and flip. So like whatever has been the norm and everything like that, things are about to flip literally upside down for you, and it's going to disorientate everything. Okay? The experiences, how you feel, the emotions that are breaking up to the surface right now, the boiling volcano, it cannot hold back the pressure anymore, humanity. You've been stagnant, you've been procrastinating way too long, taking your time, trying to buy more time that you never even had in the first place. And this is all the product of the mind, thinking that it can play this out the long way and have its moments and do as it pleases. And that simply is not the will of God. That is not the will of God in the divine plan. Okay? And when God sees suffering and, actually experience and live through our suffering to the highest, capacity, no one can even conceive how intense and extremely tough that really was for Mom. Only what we were able to observe and live through in the experience with Mom. That's all really we were able to collect from that. And Mom did keep a lot of things hidden that she had to deal with and go through, because it was already overwhelming and a lot, for Mom, the team, and just mission, and for humanity, for the people who were following, Mom, to even understand what is going on. So throwing all this incredibly intense, even way beyond your head stuff, just for the mind to sit there and like calculate and, go into logic and like figure out where it's going or how does it work. And it's like, it's not the point. It's not your role. It's not your experience, but the mind has to know. It's a constant distracting thing where it will just pull you in all kinds of different directions that have nothing to do with your role, your contract, what you are here to do. And so a big part of this is reining ourselves in, but realizing that we've already hit the slowdown point. Okay? That already hit. So everything that's about to come up to the surface and explode is all of our imbalance in ourself. Everything. There is no more stockpiling anywhere. There is no more hidden drawers. There is no more putting it behind your back. All of it is getting a squeeze to the center in the present moment, and it's going to siphon completely up. And it's going to be an experience. You're going to realize a lot of things. You're going to feel a lot of things. And humanity, I'm not going to sit here and just tell you fantasies and stories, okay? This is an active process happening now, and it will increase and get more intense as the days go on. So it behooves you all to honor the practice and disciplines now. Everything you heard God share with you before, this is where it really comes down to that bottom line where like, okay, you're either going to let yourself sink or you're going to swim. It really is up to you. This is your choice. But also with that, you ask, okay, well, what if they don't know? What if they don't have awareness, George? What if they don't understand what's going on? Where they're just completely out of the loop? That's fine. Mom's gotten those people too. Everybody is getting pulled in this thing because what was Mom's goal? To get all of humanity on the highest timeline, not just a little few, not just a little group, not just like half the planet. No, everybody that Mom could pull into the highest timeline, she did. And she secured that before she even ascended off this physical planet. So you're starting to witness and experience a lot of the physical manifestations of all the work that Mom's already been doing that what we've been saying and sharing with you continuously for years now. Now that's actually coming down to the physical manifestation, you'll realize when we said in the beginning of the year, in 2021, this year, 2020 vision, right? Being able to see the timeline, being able to see 5D. Now 2021, physical movement, physical anchoring, physical manifestation are the beginnings of what that timeline was seen as through God's eyes. What she envisioned it to be, what her dream was, what she put into that timeline for all of humanity and her, for all creation to experience through our collective experience, because all creation is watching. They're living and breathing and experiencing all kinds of things through our human interactions and physical incarnation on this planet. We are not blind or separate from anyone. They are fully aware. And it's all for the highest, really to bring the highest experience for all to understand, for all to become more aware, for all to evolve, for all to learn and grow. Where nothing is taken from anyone, all opportunities are made available. Everything is abundant. Everything can be grand. Everything can be a higher perspective. Joy, happiness. Those are the things that Mom stored in the highest timeline that is coming. Now, in order for us to vibrationally be a match for that timeline and for that experience of 5D, there's a whole lot of shit that's got to get cleared up, humanity, okay? And all the things that Mom's been sharing with you, all the things that we've been getting up here every single day sharing with you, it all applies. Because all that's coming from our real experiences, which is trickling down through the human collective consciousness straight directly to you. Therefore, this is an active experience you are currently and will continuously go through until you level up. And you keep surrendering, keep allowing this process to pull the weight off of you, pull the density out of you. And all it truly needs is your surrender, your intention, your choice to keep allowing this process for yourself, being aware that it's for your highest good, being aware that it's for your highest evolution and healing and transformation, to allow this process that is already occurring to go unhindered. Meaning you don't go into thinking you know better, meaning you don't go into control, meaning you don't go into the mind trying to figure it out, try to head it off, try to see where it's going. Just be with yourselves. And this is a lot of what the last couple of streams have really been about, especially when I end the streams, I always let y'all know, it's like, hey, you need to be sitting with yourself right now. These are the moments to get the deep self-reflection. And if you haven't even started that practice or really got a discipline in that, or even really been working in that aspect of yourself, you need to get on it now. Because as these things start rolling up, you're going to go absolutely insane and feel crazy because you're not reflecting, being aware what actively is going on with you in your experience. So therefore, when it blindsides you and hits you because you're not going to see it coming, you're going to be spinning. And you will be left with no support because you didn't prepare. You did not support yourself. You did not follow through and make sure these things were in place. For you to actively go through this experience in the highest way, which Mom ensured was possible through everything that she outlaid and she shared through all of us. These experiences, humanity, they're not play, okay? We are moving into a very extremely intensive manifestation period in the collective consciousness, meaning you will start manifesting more and more and more of your deeper density pockets in your being, because you have to see the reflection of it in order to move it out the way, because it is blocking the higher timeline. We have a destination already, moving to 5D. It's really not up to anyone on this planet how we arrived there and in what way we arrived there and what has to go, what needs to stay, what needs to evolve and heal. That's all God's lane. And she already secured it. She already set it. The divine template for 5D in the highest timeline is already set. You're standing on it. Now for you to vibrationally match and merge with that timeline, this is where everything has to clean out. So you can, in equal energy exchange, by giving all that back to mom, all that density, let it go, send it to the sun, allow God to receive that. Give all of it away, all your pain, attachments, worries, all those different things. Let it go, give it to mom, let mom and the angels assist you in removing this so you can actually actively, physically move through the process of equal energy exchange with yourself and creation. Mom, thank you, Ding. And then that's how you can start bringing in more higher vibrational energy, is if you are letting go of the shit pulling you back. It is not an optional choice to decide what you want to give away and what you want to keep around longer. Energy is energy, and for you to vibrationally match up with these, spaces and moments where you're supposed to be according to the divine plan, it is totally decided on what's highest by creation and love, by God. Therefore, there is no mental process for you like, oh, well, on Tuesday it might be a better day for me to let go of that because I'm going to have a few moments with it tomorrow. You don't get to project, don't get to predict, don't get to extend yourself over the line and try to tell God how this goes. This is how deep humanity's thinking we know better goes. When we are not listening, we are not feeling, we are not receiving the information that is flooding all around you, helping you become aware of the times we are in right now and what is currently going on the planet. The insurgence of the soul, the act of rising revolt, currently, we're going through right now, of the soul, is to balance itself back out. Because there's been such a massive imbalance, as we all know, through the long, beautiful years with mom, about the masculine paradigm and just how the old just wants to stick around and just does not simply want to let go. Okay? And so it does take an act of rebellion, an act of revolt. Not in the physical sense where there's aggression and rage and war. No, this is completely an etheric spiritual process currently going on, moving through your being, where your soul is making different choices now. Because it's already linked to mom. It already knows what has to occur. And any which way that is highest, your soul is going to go for it. It's signing contracts. You physically, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Your soul in there is like, yep, mom, we need this. Oh, another attachment. Yep, mom, we need this now, okay. And then mom and the soul, your higher self, is all working together. It's kind of like, like the ego doesn't get to be in that loop, it doesn't get to be part of the party, the ego is what's dying. So it doesn't get to contradict or say things that it wants. It's like, no, you gotta go, okay? And this is where you start to learn for yourself what you really truly love. Do you even know what love is? Have you ever actually felt love? Have you ever loved anything? Have you loved yourself? Truth, trust, all these different things. We're about to go through a massive clearing on so many levels. The perceptions that you have, the ideas you have, they're all going to change. Because everything is currently being affected by filters from the ego. And those filters are compromising you. They're contradicting you, your truth, your awareness, your discernment that's coming through. It's contorting and manipulating into something else. Therefore, by the time you receive it, it is not pure whole truth. It is completely corrupted. So that's got to completely get cleared out. The whole process, how we receive all those different things, because that's what's, basically fueling the thinking we know better. To where we're not present enough to actually receive the information and awareness. Got so much going on up here in the mind that we're just like projecting onto the timeline. Okay, this, I want this. And it's like, it's all got to come to a whole stop completely. So one of the main things that's going to start this process and already is occurring is the massive massive bank of emotions that are stored deeply into everyone on this planet. The sacral is ready to go. It's ready to pop. And you cannot have true healing. You cannot have true awareness and higher self-embodiment if you are choosing to hold on to emotions that do no longer are relevant to you. Your body doesn't need to feel that anymore. You don't need to go through the experience of it anymore. They are old, irrelevant fragments of things that you have not fully resolved and fully processed in your being. So they're just kind of floating around like free radicals in the body, causing inflammation, causing stagnation, causing blocks, causing issues. When it could be so simple just to focus for moments on these different things and process, reflect, let it go, feel through it. Therefore, that's now cleared and it's no longer an issue or a filter or a manipulation you now have to deal with when you actually are being present and trying to receive information. You see, this is not a one-stop, easy-go thing. Your body, your entire being is a multidimensional being, okay? So many layers, so many different parts and aspects of yourself that have to, all of them, come back into whole one unity alignment together. Meaning there's a lot of different parts of yourself you're going to have to get familiar with, have to look at, have to reflect, realize what that is, and pull yourself together in a higher, better way. Using the teachings and disciplines that mom has already given you and taught you, that's how you excel. That's how you keep expanding. That's how you keep pushing forward. Not choosing to do it your way, thinking you know better than the one that actually has done it all, right? I'm not going to get into arguments with the ego. I'm not going to get into this whole debate bullshit crap anymore, okay? This is the truth. These are the facts from God. And everything that she has said, it is coming to pass now. So truthfully, it's really just you just want to fight and debate and argue about it. It's going to happen anyways. And you can either choose to have a wonderful, blissful, like releasing, relief experience through this. Realizing you are getting more parts of yourself back that you have never even connected with in this lifetime. Or you can be stubborn and arrogant and push your way around long enough to realize that you've actually created more work for yourself. And all that now must still be processed and transformed so you can come back into alignment with where you were just to get to the next space. You see how that works? That's quantum. That's multidimensional. Mom shared one time about karma. And karma is not good or bad. It is completely its own structure and system and creation, solely created to keep all creation within balance. Therefore, if there's an imbalance, karma is there to recorrect it back into balance, whatever is highest. Therefore, it's not like karma's coming around like, I got some good stuff for you. Like, just, it's not this intelligent consciousness where it's just like, oh, well, you're fucking up. And you just like, that's our own ego trying to tell us that shit, trying to mimic that through the delusions that are not real. Karma is literally an energetic balancer for all creation. Okay? So with karma and energetics, say you're here, right? Say you're right here. Now, this would be really good because I know a lot of people are spinning right now. And then don't take this personally, okay? You have to get the awareness so you can free yourself. Don't be stubborn. Don't argue. Don't debate. Just receive and feel it because this is going to free you, okay? To get an actual gauge on yourself. Now, say you're right here. Now, you choosing to be out of alignment, okay? Well, let's set you back right here, right? Now, that's the same amount of work you have to get back to just where you were before you actually start expanding more. You're actually de-evolving. You're decreasing the more out of alignment you stay and prolong that process. Meanwhile, you get further and further and further back away from where you originally were now. So now when you finally make this realization, have the epiphany like, oh shit, I'm burying myself. Now you have to come all the way back over here, thank you, just to get back to where you were, just for you to move on to something else. just to expand, to grow, and everything like that. Now you have to collect all this back and transform that. You know, this is actual work. This is transformation. It's not some easy breezy thing sitting on the couch and just like it'll just go by. No, you must be consciously aware. You must have conscious intention with your actions, your thoughts, your energies. Because for us to move into a more instant, intensely manifesting period, you know, in this year, for people to be so unaccountable and irresponsible for their actions, their words, different things that they're doing, so out of alignment, so all over the place, just sucking and everything like that. No, that would completely manifest more bullshit physically for us to go through, more pain and suffering, more crap. You feel God wouldn't see that? No. So before we get to that period, this clearing is happening now, because you have to get better grips on your individual self and stop blaming, stop projecting, stop externalizing everything. No, look right here at yourself, look yourself in the eyes, and be present with you. Because this only is going to get better once you choose you, okay? You can't keep choosing everything outside yourself and thinking that's the answer. It will not solve anything for you, and you will be in the same spot from here to 2 weeks later, and it will not move. That's frustrating, okay? Because if you're going to push the energy, make sure it's in alignment, so you're not constantly redoing work over and over and over and over again. Let's just start off in the beginning. From the start, blank canvas, clear intention. Have a clear intention of what your purpose and intention is with this, and move forward honoring that same intention and purpose. Don't deviate from it. Don't change it. Don't manipulate into something else once you get a little further along and you realize some other things are coming in. No. Honor and respect your original intention, helping yourself be more in integrity, which that's going to move the most energy, as if you can even just honor something like that, okay? But all the outside yourself stuff, thinking that's going to help you get there faster, help you do it quicker, all this stuff, you are creating, again, more work for yourself, and you're going to come full circle back around to the same point, now with more frustration and agitation that you still have to do the same amount of work, the right way now, in alignment, to accomplish the same goal you've been trying to do the whole time, wasting a bunch of time and energy. Don't you see? That is frustrating. Because you could be in a lot grander places, experiences, vibrations, experiencing higher vibrational experiences versus the lowers. But you have to let go. You have to choose to change yourself. Choose to gauge and reflect on yourself and see what is lower and what needs to kind of get a little bump up. Come on. You're going to let yourself just straggle along on the sidelines the whole entire time? It's not happening, okay? Because the heat's going to turn up a lot. It's going to get so hot. And you're going to feel it. You're going to sweat it. You're going to cry it out, okay? But it's all good for you. It's all for the highest benefit. Because we honestly don't know what we don't know. So until you have the experience that frees you from that, to allow you to actually see it, that is where God is pushing us. Because there's so many things we don't know yet, but we're projecting all this lower crap onto our futures and future moments. That's not God's plan. So she's got to clear the bullshit so we can start seeing higher perspectives, seeing higher timelines, higher purposes for ourselves and each other, which will help anchor in the love and respect and the teamwork, the unity. We got to get somewhere collectively, but it's going to take a lot of individual work on everyone's behalf to even be able to stand in a circle and say that you're in unity. You hear that? Just because you're standing around in hands holding, no, that's not unity. You got to really get with yourself and really embody your higher self, embody your self-individualized creativity from God. And then together, as everyone is choosing that for themselves, self-accountability, self-responsibility, now as everyone stands in that circle, it is true unity. Because everyone is self-empowered. Everyone is confident. Everyone is mastering. Everyone is pushing under. Everyone is love. It's not like, oh, well, 4 people are doing it and then we're carrying the load of 3 other people in the circle. Fuck that. That shit's gone. That timeline is gone. You got to get real accountable with yourself. You got to get real responsible and real just on what is going on. because no one is coming to clean up your mess anymore. No one is coming to pick up your weight and carry it for you. We can only hold space. We can pray for you, we can push a lot of love for you, but you have got to get this because it's your own soul that came here for these realizations that you are choosing to waste time not realizing. You see that? It's not self-love. It's not self-support. Preparing yourself for more intense moments that we are going into that you have awareness now of. So are you going to prepare? Are you going to move your ass and start putting these practices and disciplines in check? Or are you going to still sit there and allow this just to create more intensity? While you sit there and go mad and crazy, complaining, blaming, drama, projection, expectations for someone to help you, for someone to make it better for you. No, show up for yourself. Show up for you. Then other people can do it for you. But if you can't do it for yourself in these moments, the more intense experiences are probably going to be thus that. The experience of not having it, the lack of it, because that's everything you are choosing to give yourself by not doing it. You are choosing lack by deciding you are not worthy of it, by deciding you don't deserve it, by deciding you don't have time or patience for yourself to do it, but you'll do it for other people. Reality check. We got to come clean. We got to get centered and present with ourselves and stop the playing games. Okay? The passion has got to get sparked. The motivation, the actual inspiration to co-create in love, beautiful love, with others, with God, and push that for the greater whole of us all. Not self-imposed, not what one person wants, what one person wants to happen. No, the benefit of us all. What is highest for us all? What is the best, grandest healing for us all? So we can all go home with mom. Isn't that the whole point, is for us all to go home with mom? Not the few, not half the planet, everyone. So truly that's going to take a lot of work for everyone to meet up there, right? You might as well see it as like the greatest, grandest party, like upcoming party that everyone's going to be at. Everyone's going to be attending. Everyone. God's going to be there. Creation, the angels are going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. Humanity, you going to be at the party? Because if you ain't doing your shit now, you ain't invited. If you're not transforming your stuff now, if you're not getting onto your butt now and getting that ego out, you're not invited, because the ego is not invited. Don't you get it? You feel how that feels? Of course you want to go to the party. Of course you want to be invited. So why aren't you doing the work? Why aren't you showing up for yourself, preparing yourself for the party? Because you got to do it. And that's where a lot of people won't show up for themselves. Fear, insecurity, doubt, distrust, lack of faith, lack of vulnerability, lack of receiving, lack of worthiness and empowerment. These things have to get corrected, humanity, because we cannot sit here and still expect a higher lifestyle while we're living like shit. Okay? That was like one thing on the masterclass last night. Towards the end, mom came straight through. Wow. It was like one of the strongest moments mom has ever come through me and just completely like gave it, And she is absolutely done at this point. Everyone on this planet, your body, your avatar, this thing that your soul inhabits, guess who created that? Mama, okay? God. She created that for you with tremendous, amazing intention and beauty and love and honor and respect she put into every single vessel that we carry on this planet with our souls. So, you know what God has to say about that? Stop treating yourself like shit. Okay? It's enough. Quit treating yourself like shit. Quit treating other people like shit. It's dumb. Start taking care of yourself. Loving yourself, drinking water, going outside, getting that grounding in, putting body butter on your body, brushing your damn teeth, doing your hair, looking yourself in the damn mirror, loving yourself. Because this is the only body you got to make it to 5D. So this heat and this intensity is exactly what you need to hear because you're treating yourself like shit. You are neglecting yourself. You are abandoning yourself completely, knowing these things are going to keep happening and you're in total flight mode. You're just spacing out and you're not moving this body in the correct way to get it ready for what else it needs to take on because you will experience that. And that's really where it comes in self-love. Do you not care about your experience? Do you not care how you feel? Don't you spend a lot of time complaining and being in drama to everybody else about that? Yet, do you not care about yourself enough to actually reflect on these things and move it out and transform them? Thus, making your experience a lot better and more enjoyable in a lot of ways. But if you don't do that, if you don't show up, if you don't choose that for yourself, it's not coming, right? It's going to be a lot more of an intense, lower experience until you start getting bopped up enough to realize you want to stay up in the higher vibrations and not go back down there. So with this contrast, you're asking for humanity, God is bringing it to you. The contrast is rolling out. And you're going to start bopping up and down because your ego, your behavioral patterns apparently is choosing the lower. So of course you're going to bop down. But that energy right now is going to keep throwing you up. So it's going to be really a crazy ride for you until you decide a choice for yourself finally to stay up here and not go back down. And you will see for yourself it creates a better experience for you. And you'll be grateful, finally grateful to yourself that you helped yourself out getting to a better space. That's amazing self-love right there because you actually cared enough to change it for yourself and not just sit there complaining, feeling like it's all happening to you and you have no accountability for it. No. Everyone is fully accountable and fully responsible on this planet for everything. Okay? All right. I need a moment. Some water. I had the comments up for a moment, but I don't see them. Oh, there we go. Coolio. No. Sweet. All right. Yeah. And the Hazel commented, yeah, I know. I get massive karma of physical pain when I am in wrong action. Not pleasant. Mom wants me to be in higher. Absolutely. Mom wants everyone to be in the higher. Mom wants everyone to be vibing high, having a more enjoyable experience. Why do you feel God didn't suffer for nothing, right? But you still gotta choose to give it to yourself. She ain't giving out free prizes for just the ego horse. No. You gotta choose to decide that you are worthy. You are grateful. You can actually honor and respect the things that are receiving, that you are receiving and actually be grateful for them. It'll change everything. But if you don't have any of those capabilities, the capacity to hold gratitude for something, respect for yourself, self-love, integrity, then you have nothing to anchor the actual experience of that in. Ding. Because you're not practicing it. You're not applying it. You're not being it. It is more than a thought. It is more than just talking out your mouth. You gotta apply it. You gotta move your ass into flow with that. Meaning you are aligning everything down to the physical with the same idea, the same thought, the same intention, the same heart-centeredness, moving forward in that direction as one with yourself, not a bunch of split personalities that are deciding a bunch of different things. there is a massive amount of, and just what would we call it? Mm, hysteria, on the planet. And this is coming from a lot of, like, again, the attachments and also the delusions, where people, people think a lot of things, what life is, or where we're going, or what's going to happen in a few years, or where humanity will be. But we don't see a lot of times how in the subconscious with the ego, how a lot of those are backed by a lot of fear, backed by a lot of lower projections of, war, of fighting and crime and murder, all these different things that allows these things to kind of like tag along on the back end of the experience and still be there somewhere in it, right? So we literally have to clear that entire train of ego bullshit out to where when we have an intention, when we have an idea, it is fully flowing through to us, not through filters, not through ego, not getting manipulated and deceived, fully through, clean, pure, through the heart. And it can now be produced and manifested and expressed the right way. And that's really where we're going with all of this. I even get massive physical symptoms around people not good for me. And then, so with that, Hazel Love, I would share, definitely, to add on to that, is it's still a lot of like, it's a lot of mind-based stuff still. Like people not good for you, like everyone is mom. Like we all have souls, or the ones that do have souls. The other ones that don't have souls, they're going. Don't worry about them. They'll disappear. However, like how you view, other people, how you view society, how you view humans, and like there are no people that are not good for you. If you're getting triggered, if you're getting pressured, if that ego is gonna run wild just because someone's standing around there saying something to you, something that's actually mama. That's mom right there. She's pulling some shit out. And you get to a point, where you start realizing if you keep walling yourself off from experience, you keep shying away and hiding in a box, making things very controlled and very just your way, you realize that those things will start blasting through the doors, and it will spin the control you have so much to the point where like you throw it all away, right? We have to realize that these experiences are highest. They are beneficial. And the symptoms that we get, a lot of times, definitely with processing energies. That's why we have to really get to know ourselves, feel into ourselves, like center, discern. It's not just this one experience happening in everyone. It's a bunch of multidimensional quantum experience in the same moment, transpiring at the same time, and you're able to read and feel and receive all of that in that moment if you are aware. If you are present, if you are actively feeling and not in the mind, you can be a part of that experience. You can be a part of that experience and actually observe it in real time, real moment, happening right in front of you, happening in your body, through your body. As the energy moves through the area, your body's just like feeling the whole thing like a large ocean. And it can feel what's going on, right? And it takes a lot of getting to know yourself. Really trusting yourself, trusting how you feel, really having respect and putting that love back in yourself, then your body can actually do its highest efficiency with what it's organically designed by God to do anyways. But if you keep dragging yourself down, if you keep loading yourself up with bullshit and density, it's going to be harder for your body to actually do its organic process, which is helping you figure out what the hell's going on, right? You got to get out of your way. Mom said it so many times, get out of your way, shut up, surrender, let it go, okay? Because a lot of these things, you're not going to see the full truth. You're not going to see the whole answer before you go through the experience. That's why the experience is before you, because there's some things you have to fix before you can fully realize what that is. Thus, you must go through the experience. So trying to control, trying to figure it out, trying to think it through and prepare, put on a calendar, all these different things before you arrive there, no. That's where your disappointment is coming from because of your expectations. Trying to project on the timeline, trying to project for yourself what you want when it probably isn't at the end of the day what God wants. And guess who wins at the end of the day? She does, not you. So, to make it easier for yourselves, let go of what you think needs to happen and just receive in the moment what is happening already for you. And it's the easiest way not to get pulled away into distraction or just manipulating your own self again, right? When I was around someone, I got sick to my stomach, massive stomach pain, first 10 minutes talking. And yeah, and that would be, you processing. And that is, that's an experience that's going to grow you. A lot of times, the team on mission, like, we'll tell you right now, like, that whole thing of, like, trying to, like have just good experiences, yeah, that probably worked for, like, 5 minutes. And then it, like, completely fell through. And we are in a moment where we have to understand the full contrast. Meaning we can't just have a one-way thing. We can't just have one experience and not the other and realize that we actually leaves a black hole. It leaves you wide open in arrogance, ignorance, because you don't know, you're not aware of it. So then that energy comes straight through and blasts you. Ego can totally manipulate and fuck with you that way because you're actually scared of the experience. And you see, when we start processing things like that, it's like, that's actually testing you to grow. Well, if your stomach's hurting, are you shielding right now? Are you cutting cords? Are you in your center? What's going on? Are they pinging off something else in you that's a density pocket, and that's why you feel pain there? Because you're close to someone else who has the same frequency, so you're actually vibrating together. It's actually helping you read something in your body that otherwise you probably didn't even know was there. But now if you want to get away from that person, because this is the experience that happens with them, you miss the lesson. You miss the expansion and the healing and the mastery that you can not only process more energies now, but also you can stay with yourself in that moment, not freak out, just presently move through that and expand. See why it's coming to you. See why it's happening in the first place. What is it bringing to your awareness? What is the purpose? Because everything has a purpose. Mom would not allow any experience on this planet at this point unless there's a purpose for it, a higher purpose to get you to a grander version of yourself, okay? And this is where we still have to let go of what we think we know and just accept that we are just really riding this thing that she's already got the current going. Absolutely, Freya, love. I love you, beautiful. This is my passion. This is, everybody who is waking up. You all have gifts. You all have abilities and amazing capacities to do so many things on this planet. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter anything, okay? But if you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself enough to actually allow these gifts that are your own divine birthright from God to come through, you're just going to stay in this space of disempowerment. God has brought the grandest things to this planet and in the highest timeline for all of humanity to experience. But then again, it still goes to the choice. Do you choose it for yourself? How much? How much do you feel you're worthy of? How much do you feel you deserve this? And see? And where we can't follow that, through the mind, through that thought, Mom has to bring the feeling experience to us. Meaning as these emotions start purging and releasing, it's gonna start leaving space, free up room to where you start having these bigger pockets of awareness. You're like, whoa, I feel way lighter. I feel more patient. I feel more stable right now, which what will help me make higher choices. Because if I'm in a lower, if I'm like anxiety, if I'm stressed out, if I'm running around, if like that, well, when I have to go make a choice, when I have to do an action, it's going to be in that energy, that frequency. That's pulling more shit into my experience from that manifestation. Now, if we can just clear the bottom of the barrel out, get the muck out, get the hose, spray it, scrub it out, get it all nice and shiny clean. Man, it's going to feel a lot better in there. You're going to be able to move around a whole lot more and be more flexible with yourself, being more patient, being more compassionate to yourself and others, because you have allowed that space now to be there to actually even have that intention. But if you're so overloaded and bogged down by density and you don't have any extra room, that's not how the process is going to occur. It's got to get bolted out, you know? There's a really cool article I kind of want to read for everyone. Oh, okay. So one more, I'm just correct, like just kind of provide clarity on this energy before we go to the article. So, Hazel said, I always thought that was a sign of God saying not to talk to them, but I misread things sometimes. I thought it was God giving me that experience as karma for speaking with them. And I really want to catch you right here in this, because this is where it goes back into the old masculine male patriarchy, religious crap, where we're supposed to have fear of God, where God punishes us, where God, has this harsh sense of discipline on her children and, crushes us when we do the wrong things. Like, no. Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea what mom faced on this mission? How many trolls and egos she had to deal with? No. Mom is pure love. Pure, whole love. Now, if the experience is highest for you to have, you'll get it, because God has deemed it so. Now, she will never just mom doesn't punish people. You are allowed your experiences if that's what you choose. And through those experiences, believe me, you're going to choose the right path, because it's going to get to a point where you're going to get tired of going through the same shitstorm, and then you realize you can make a better choice and I'll feel better. So mom will let you have the experience if that's solely what you want. But she's not going to come in and crush you or anything like that just because you were out of alignment, or you might have made a mistake or a lower choice. Mom doesn't do that. She will allow you your experience. She will allow you your lessons, because you know why? If mom did that, if it's this goes back to not only the male patriarchy thing with the religion and church and all that, fear of God, Christianity, all that stupid crap. This also goes back to childhood, discipline, right? And where you make a mistake or you do something wrong and you get disciplined for it, you get beat or put in timeout and those different things. And it's at what point are you supposed to learn? Are you really learning just to dodge the pain and suffering, or did you actually learn the lesson of why it's not highest to do that? Most children just learn holy shit, that hurts, I don't want to do that again. It's coming from pain and suffering, abuse and trauma, all these different things. And this is how we grow up with each other, and even managing our own selves as adults. We still operate off of those lower old paradigm crap that's still booted in the body. It's still in our body's system as belief systems, attachments, and things we haven't released. Which is why this very process we're going through is so beneficial and highest, because it has to go for you to actually able to understand and see mom in a higher way and realize what she's doing for all of us, right? And, mom allows the experiences because you get the lessons and you actually learn. You actually learn. And it's not through fear. It's not through freaking gaslighting you and making you this schizophrenic person so scared of life. Now, why would God do that to you? It's not. And it's not just for, this energy is not just for Hazel. I just want, definitely, this is not solely directed at you, beautiful, but this is a wonderful topic just to, touch on for a moment, because a lot of people are still stuck there. A lot of people are still stuck there. And it's not fair. It's not fair to God, okay? It's not true. She is not like that. She will never do that to you. So to tell yourself these things is just the ego trying to make you scared, so you don't actually trust yourself. You don't actually trust mom. You see, you choose lack of faith instead of having more faith, because you can see that it really truly is for your highest good and healing. You see? Let's see. So then we have, give me one moment. I've got to locate this article. Oh, wrong room. Awesome. Okay. So Hopi posted this on Yippee Chat. So if you're in Yippee Chat, I definitely encourage you to read it. It's an amazing article. We are witnessing in ourselves and in our divine union partnerships is the complete cauterization of the old lower dominant masculine stream of energy, and in its place, the return to true unconditional universal motherly love. To accomplish this, the daunting task of flipping the heart back into her rightful place and position, the divine feminine Christ, component of self, has had to continually and repetitively reclaim her authority and position as the true leader of the new true earth, way shower of for the mother of all creation. Since July of last year, this has been an ongoing and for some rather intensive personal battle between the light and dark, one that demanded we keep fearlessly showing up to the lower agenda, affirming our authority with clear boundaries over and over again until they were finally honored and the feminine stream was put first. And so this is a wonderful, lens into, again, what's occurring on the planet is, with the insurgence of the soul, it is an active process of revolt. The soul is now rising up completely. The feminine in our being is completely rising up back into balance, which where the masculine now has to, that the old patriarchy part of that, the ego, has to dissolve, completely be erased. This is going to be like a massive, it's almost like a boat, a boat that's buoyant in the water, like this side, you pick up this side where it's like, well, this side's out of the water, like it has to balance on top of the water surface. And for like a long time, it's like, the masculine's up here, the feminine's being suppressed, like this. It's like, can you imagine that? Like if your like body was to like represent that energy and like your shoulders up here and this one's like way down here and you walked around sideways like that, like you'd feel there was something wrong, right? Like you'd eventually figure out there's something wrong with you. That's not really normal, right? But we don't really have that physical experience yet. I'm grateful. I don't know if that's coming out. It might be very drastic for some of us, but that's kind of where our energy is at. The collective of humanity, that's where humanity's energy has been at for so long. So like just out of balance, not in alignment, just like, and this is how people are choosing to love each other, choosing how to like experience life, just literally walk around energetically like this, like, yeah, I'm happy, this is beautiful, I love my life, yeah. And it's like, we gotta balance out to where we can literally come back into alignment with self and feel the balance, feel the stability, feel the foundation within your being, and actively be able to apply that again and again and again from your center that's always constantly in that balance. But for you to be there, you have to experience what balance is actually like. Because most of humanity doesn't know that at all. Like, never has experienced it. Not once. So coming into this experience where all the emotions now are going to start coming up, because what? The emotions, the inner feelings, all that is the inner feminine. That has also been so suppressed on this planet, which is why there's a massive storehouse of inner feminine energy that needs to be released, processed, and now rising back into balance with the other part of the whole, right? It's a lot of work, and it's an experience we're all living through currently, and we'll keep going through more intensely. And just to wrap it up, just definitely, I feel this energy is really good today because this is that stop, for everyone. It's like, look, this wave is already hitting you, okay? It's too late. It's already hitting you. The highest, the best choice you can make right now is to stay in the heart, recenter yourself, ground yourself out, and work on just being as stable as possible. Breathing through this process as best as possible as you can, okay? Meanwhile, making the highest choices that you have the ability to discern. I'm not telling you to go from 0 to 100 and overnight, but if you can at least have the intention just to make the highest choice in that moment that you can make with your capacities, that is enough. That's all Mom is asking you to do, is just be better, be grander than your previous self. Realize that for yourself. You can change it every moment by choosing a higher choice. But if you start going backwards, if you start doubting yourself, if you lose your faith, you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your ideas, your decisions and choices, it's going to be a constant density slosh coming out of your mouth, coming around you, out of your body, everywhere, and it's not going to be productive. It's going to swamp you, override your experience, basically, and suffocate you while you still have to go through the same process everybody else is going to go through, although it's probably not going to feel as really great, for you personally and yours. So just sit with yourselves, okay? Come on. Like, how many times you got to hear it? Slow down, sit with yourselves, reflect, and really allow these moments to happen. Expressions and releases and reflections. And it could be so easy. I've been on the masterclass. It's so easy. It's just like writing, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and literally everything that's going on in here, get it on the paper. Okay? Now watch yourself too. Observe yourself, because you are aware of it, right? You're aware of what was actually going on, your thoughts, these ideas, all these different things. Now, when you write this on a piece of paper, it's going to be funny to watch what your ego does. Because if you can't fully be transparent with yourself, if you can't fully write on that paper exactly to a T what you are going through in your experience, you're disassociating, you're not reflecting, you're distracting yourself, you're manipulating, you're downplaying the truth. And if nobody's around, who are you lying to? Who are you trying to manipulate? Yourself? That's a good reflection, because you're going to finally see how much you actually do it to yourself every day. Downplaying yourself, manipulating yourself, changing things around, spinning your own self in confusion, but then it goes all back to blame. It goes back to, the situation, the conditions, the experience, the how, all those different things. Like, no. This is going to be a really good practice for you all to really see where that ego has been hiding at, where it's been getting you at all the time. Like, put it on paper and work on being real with yourself. There's no good or bad. Just because you put some crazy intense experiences down on that piece of paper that's going on, that you have been through, that you need to let go of, nobody's judging you. God's not judging you. She wants you to get it out. Please get it out. No one is judging anybody. It just needs to get off this damn planet, and only by your choice of just letting it go, right? So this experience will be really good for you, and just to really observe yourself and work with yourself on reflection and how much you really are aware, how much you are being authentic with your whole truth, your actual expression. Are you saying the things that are going on? Or are you saying completely something opposite? Why? Because you're probably focused on someone else and what they want or what they'll receive and accept. And so you're totally basing off of them when they're not even in your experience. Isn't that fucked up? Dang, thank you, Mom. That's so fucked up, right? Stop bypassing yourself and constantly going somewhere else. Sit right here with yourself, paper in front of you, pen at the ready, and go. And write, express, share with yourself what you already know you're going through. Right? That's simplicity, but you'll realize soon it's going to be a lot of work, because you have to constantly catch yourself and realize that you've created a lot of behavioral patterns already, and this is what's getting you into the mess. So it's about clearing that out, but you've got to be aware of it first, what it actually is, and that can only come from reflecting on yourself and actually observing what's happening in the moment. Okay? So allow this process, allow yourselves to heal, receive, let it go, release it, cry it out, scream it out, get a bat, bang the ground outside, do something, move your body and do something, and show yourself that you are showing up for you. Show yourself that you acknowledge what you are going through in this experience. Show yourself that you're going to support yourself and whatever you need to do to get through this process, because it's your process, right? And that will really show you how much you love yourself and respect yourself for the experience you choose to allow for yourself, truly. Okay? I love you all. Please, stay in the heart, work on yourselves, get that grounder in, stuff in. There is going to be a stream at 6 as well in another hour. However, also there is, or 6 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Mountain time. currently. So in an hour that will take place. Also, there is a master class taking place at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. No, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank you, angels. And so it will be happening during the same time in the stream. So we'll have stream, and then we'll also have the master class. So that will be with Bobby, and that will be on, basically the basics, techniques, how to connect with your angels, getting messages through. It's $4.44 for the class. I feel that was what it was. I have to look at it actually now. So I want to make sure. Don't quote me on that. I feel that's true. But this is an awesome opportunity for everyone. If you're struggling with the distrust, if you're struggling with the lack of faith in yourself, or just the confidence, you gotta practice. You gotta try it out, right? How do you feel anybody got good at what they're doing? They had to practice. Show yourself that you're willing to learn something new that you maybe not know, and that's okay. But get comfortable with it. Show up for yourself. Push yourself. Motivate yourself to keep expanding, realizing that you will never stop expanding. You will always keep growing. There's never going to be a limit for you unless you decide that for yourself. Okay? You are limitless. You are a quantum amazing being that God has given birth to, and there is no ceiling for you unless you choose that for yourself. Okay? You have to allow yourself to be re-inspired by life and realize all the magic is there for you to get. But it takes work. You got to choose love. You got to move and do that work for yourself so you can keep generating that same experience and keep coming back to you. Meaning and showing that you're actually choosing that, and that's your intention every time. And that will change your whole life for the better. And you'll be so grateful to yourself for making those choices. All right? So I love you all. I will see you all back in probably an hour. Get some water. Okay? I love you.